Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. The material we are about to cover discusses severe psychological and societal conditioning. If you find these concepts overwhelming, please prioritize your own boundaries and your nervous system health. Look closely at the world around you. Modern society operates as an automated psychological prison. It trains human beings to actively fear their own greatness and defend the very chains that restrict them. This system maintains its grip by inducing constant cognitive dissonance. Through a steady drip of shame, guilt, feelings of inadequacy, and fear, it overloads the human brain. The result is a nervous system frozen into a constant state of noise. You can observe this suppression in real time through the crab effect. When someone tries to rise above the shared misery and actually heal, the majority instinctively attacks. The group enforces its own restrictions, ensuring anyone trying to ascend is dragged right back down into the previous frozen state. This behavior isn't accidental. It's the result of social discourse functioning as a self-policing mechanism. By normalizing the suppression of progress, society effectively installs a mental virus into the collective brain, where individuals become automated, low-cost robots who maintain the prison for one another. When you see media and entertainment celebrating negativity and sacrifice, you are seeing the conditioning at work. It is a mechanism designed to keep the nervous system dysregulated, making you terrified of the silence and stillness required to recognize your own inner abundance. To understand how this works, we have to look past psychology and examine the biology. Societal stress specifically targets two major physiological pathways, the vagus nerve and the gut-brain axis, the biological highways connecting your digestive system to your cognitive centers. The constant pressure to conform sends distress signals down these pathways. This triggers chronic internal inflammation, which physically impairs the brain's higher cognitive functions. This inflammatory response traps the body in a permanent biological freeze state, completely destabilizing resecretion of hormones and neurochemicals. People cope with this internal biological damage by developing what we call the ostrich complex. Instead of addressing their failing physiology, they bury their heads in the sand and obsess over external validation to self-medicate the pain. Therefore, when individuals project miserable or destructive thoughts, it is not an ethical or moral failing. It is definitive, biological proof of a deeply impaired and dysregulated physiological system. Society weaponizes external abundance, a life of total freedom and limitless distraction, to keep the mind occupied. The sensory overload of modern existence prevents you from ever experiencing internal stillness. This culture of constant, performative busyness leads to a specific type of cognitive exhaustion. Historically, this profound exhaustion has birthed fabricated, rigid ideological systems like communism, which provide a structure for people whose dysregulated nervous systems cannot tolerate progress or competition. These systems are less about economic theory and much more about producing group neuroses. They function as a hypnotic addiction to rituals, leading to modern academia, intellectual masturbation over footnotes and junk papers that fail to solve real-world problems. Contrast this with the lineage of the Kohanim and the true descendants of Queen Esther.
There is, ultimately, a very dark comedy to all of this. Humanity spends its entire existence violently defending the very chains that guarantee its shared suffering. The normative labels of morality, ethics, and prestigious academic titles are entirely junk constructs. They're engineered for one purpose: to keep individuals trapped in a collective hallucination, completely detached from how their own anatomy actually functions. True internal abundance can only be accessed by doing the exact opposite of what society demands. You have to entirely shut down the external noise. The objective is biological homeostasis. This flawless flow of chemicals is achieved only when your 33 vertebrae and 11 body systems act in perfect harmony. This alignment allows the body to inhabit absolute, infinite internal silence, what ancient traditions called the void. Spirituality is not located in heaven. It is an experience engineered directly inside this fragile, mortal biological vessel, firmly bound to this reality on Earth. When fully integrated, the body becomes a projector,
A healthy, aligned biological system naturally manifests and projects life-affirming, creative realities outward into the three-dimensional world. Your biological life is an absolute marvel. By rejecting the societal hallucination and committing to your own inner peace, you stabilize your nervous system. In that stillness, a profound joy naturally reveals itself, one that is entirely independent of any external circumstance.